All right, folks, we're back. Thanks for watching that break. We are getting into game 1 of a best of 5. This is for the grand finals of this week's Olimoleague. There's quite a bit of money on the line for this, actually. $100 for first place and $50 for second, so it's not bad if you lose, but it's obviously better if you win. Big thank you to Mind Life. I hope I read that correctly. Yeah, Mind Life was a brand new sub coming in. That's awesome. It's like 3 or 4 new subs today. It's been a bit of a slow day, but you know what? Doesn't matter because we've had some good StarCraft. Also, I gotta show this stat off on stream. Do you have Twitch alerts open right now?
Yes.
Refresh it and look how many hosts we've gotten over the stream today. It's actually really awesome. The fact that we're on that many people's auto host list / manual host list or whatever the list is, like, I'm really glad that people are willing to support the stream.
Really like
cool
us.
Beans. Anyways, I don't. You know what? I have the map. This is what I could have done with our 3 days off. I could have finished the Cactus Valley intro. I actually totally forgot that I didn't ever finish this one. So I have map intros for the rest of the games in the series, guys, but not this first one. What are we talking about throwing away?
People asking about the pizza that I made.
I mean, it was pretty nasty.
It was just that it was too peanut buttery. It wasn't even that gross. It was just like, I don't want to eat peanuts.
You know, it's weird. For me, my whole life... Okay, well, actually, you know what? Let's do intros first. Top left side of the map. It's the pink Protoss Zest. Here for game 1 of the Olimoleague Grand Finals.
In the bottom right is the blue Protoss. It is Billowy.
But my whole life, I've only ever relegated peanut butter to toast or sandwiches. You know, it doesn't go anywhere else.
Okay, yeah.
Then I had peanuts in some sort of Thai stir fry or something. I don't remember
Hell
what it
yeah.
was. That was pretty
exactly.
legit. Then I don't remember what else it was. There was another food similar to that, though, where they did actually use peanut butter in it for the sauce. And I'm like, this changes so much. I had no idea, like, peanut butter could be used in this way.
Peanut butter and sauce is actually really good. I'm glad that you mentioned the Thai one because that's like probably the best.
I
wasn't
really
nice
talking
too.
about Taiwan at all.
The Taiwan. Oh, you. What's really cool is if you're saving calories, you can just use powdered peanut butter, which is actually really good. Don't knock before you try it. And it's like a quarter of the calories.
You know what?
Hey.
I gotta actually complain about calories here, right? So obviously I've been working on losing weight and blah blah blah, but I really get annoyed because chicken breasts are supposed to be really good, like, you know, it's a good source of food, protein, and it's not that many calories.
Yeah.
But first off, I've absolutely fallen in love with this unseasoned chicken breast you can get from like Walmart, right? It's pretty good, but it's like the box is estimated calorie value per breast is 80 calories, and you'll open this box. And, like, the consistency is not there. You'll have, like, this tiny little chicken breast that's, like, 80 calories, you're supposed to believe. Then another one that's, like, monstrous. You're like, there's no way this is only 80 calories. You have this chicken breast that's, like, twice the size of every other one in there.
Yeah, they definitely should be using grams. Not like, size, like,
It just feels lazy.
Items, yeah. Well, it's actually, like, it's wrong more than it is right. Like, there's the... Restaurants are always wrong, but that's, I think, something that everyone knew was a possibility. But, like, even, like, the slices of bread that are usually pretty standard in, like, line are also vastly different between what they say.
Well,
feels bad.
I'll wrap up this point because the game's actually starting to shape up already. But I was just going to note, too, that I bring this up because I actually recently watched a video that got popular on Reddit about how a lot of zero-calorie things are actually not 0 calories. But due to like some like FDA thing, like if it's under a certain calorie count, you can advertise it as 0 calories.
Yeah, well, I think it's under F1 because like under 5 is something that gum has.
It's under 5 is kind of the rule.
Well, because like I've had gum packets that say literally like it's under 5, like they have the less than sign. So, but I know like Coke Zero is actually like, well, anyways, you know what?
Yeah, talk about this later because we do have the proxy coming down as that. So yeah, this is kind of what I was alluding to. He was looking to get a little bit aggressive. He had built a lot of extra stuff at home. And Billowy is actually not scouted this, I believe. He saw the regular opening, but not the extra gateway coming down on the side. No Nexus going down as well, meaning Billowy has now used 400 minerals in basically not defense.
This is quite dedicated from Zest. Not just the proxy pylon slow warping, contain with a nexus type thing, which you can do. No, this is actually a proxy gateway as well. So I don't think one pylon is enough, especially because Billowy added on sentries, not more units.
Yeah, that's about 4 gates, I think. Yeah, 4 gates.
Yeah, force fields. I think you need 3 force fields to wall off Cactus Valley, but I don't even think he'll like realize what's happening until it's too late. Maybe.
Yeah, he's only seen the Adept Shades. So it's just gonna be a kind of like surprise 6 Stalkers. That's a little bit much. The Adepts come through to the main, but they're caught. Oh,
oh, whoa. They are literally caught. That's actually really big. If they have free reign of the mineral line, even if they're being attacked, that's like 4 probes. But to be caught like that, just 2.
Well, as he does commence the attack, Guardian Shield, Force Fields, that overcharge is really scary. That's a big part of it. Okay, that's huge. Getting those sentries is really big. That's no joke. But also the timing on that the Adept attack, he knew there's possibly going to be an overcharge, so it was really cool the way he timed out those transfers. But he comes in to snipe off that last sentry. It was a really cool attempt to do so, but it's barely... Okay, it does go down.
To be honest, I didn't really consider how many Adepts it took to one-shot a sentry. Now I know. That was very key. It was very cool.
Now there's still an overcharge available, but the damage of the overcharge is not nearly as scary as not being able to escape from the damage from the overcharge. So with those force fields not being here, it is worrisome. The Adepts cancel their transfer through to the main. Zest is kind of hitting his hard timing though. Like, he still doesn't have a Nexus down. If he doesn't actually break Billowy soon, Billowy's going to have Immortals in the defense, and it's going to be a much easier hold for him. So he goes for the attack. He's going to try and go for that break. It's going to be tough to pull off with the Immortal in play, but he does focus it down pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's weird. He canceled the transfer too. Photon Overcharge is going to be available very soon, like 5 seconds soon. And Billowy needs that, in fact. Zest is continuing to warp in here. Yep, there it is. That buys very crucial amount of time for the Immortal to come down and actually help out.
But something important was done by Billowy. While he hasn't won the game with the... Excuse me, Zest. While he hasn't won the game with this, he did take enough probes down to even up the worker count. So we're not going to have Billowy with extra warp-ins or crazy greater production or anything like that. Interesting choice to focus the pylon instead of the Mothership Core initially, realizing that he could swap that up. Force Fields come down. They do catch some of the Adepts. A lot of that fodder being taken away from the fight. No fluff, no extras. The pylons, of course, have no overcharges, and Zest is pushed back once again. He does still have more army supply, though.
Yeah, but now it's in sentries, and Immortal has popped out finally for Billowy. That's going to take it forever.
Oh, I got the
Mothership Core comes over? What?
Yo, Mothership Core wouldn't be too bad. I actually see Time Warp being pretty effective here, but the Zealots soaking some of these hits, soaking a lot of the hits, and the Immortal constantly running away means it's not firing, it's not shooting, it gets focused down, the Mothership Core helps finish it off.
Oh, I think this is it.
GG. Zest had me so stressed for that game.
Yeah, that was really close. Billowy was just missing... I feel like if his Immortal was 10 seconds sooner, and he did have a very sizable gap in his robo production, that would have been enough for him to hold.
I'm also now fully aware that Zest rhymes with stressed.
Sure.
Alright, so loser's pick. It's going to be up to Billowy to choose the next map. Again, it's worth noting that whoever wins this gets $100. Whoever loses this gets $50. Like, they're pretty set for this best of 5, win or lose. But the money part aside, it's actually the points that seem to matter more so here, because the monthly finals for the Olimoleague are like some of the biggest, most lucrative tournament prize money. So, like, getting to those finals, getting those extra points to secure your spot in is actually huge. And this is the, I think, first Olimoleague of the new session, since we just had last month's finals last week.
Yep. What's this here? Proxima.
Trying Crank's lobby. So, where's the intro for this one actually before I start speaking? I don't have it loaded. Uh-oh, one sec. Can I do this in time?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Alright, intro loaded and good to go. I was going to ask though, do you think Zest can pull off like that first? Okay, I'll talk about it in game. We'll see you guys here in a sec. Okay, so my timing there was a little bit awkward as the game was getting started, but I was going to say, that first game I thought was a really good showing for both. Even though Zest won, Billowy had really good defense. So do you think this will be a close finals, or do you think this will still be like a one-sided finals?
I think Zest will take it 3-1, just because I think Billowy can absolutely take a game. Or Zest can lose a game, you know what I mean?
Zest can lose a game. We've seen it a lot lately, sadly. Bottom left side, though, not to smack talk him. He is quite good at the game. Nonetheless, it is the pink Protoss, Zest.
And top right is the blue Protoss. He is Billowy. Woo. What do you think? Who takes this?
I'm actually very much on your side for this, but I do want to note that I would not be shocked if Billowy ended up upsetting and turning this around. Like, I always I say this every time we cast him. I know he's got the potential, but it's not always like the thing he brings to the surface. Either way, both players do fully wall off, by the way, so no scouting.
Yeah. I feel like I'm seeing what PvP on Proxima specifically looks like every game. I think I have a general idea about PvP every time, but like really just seeing the finer things. Like I guess there's always an early probe. One, so you can actually scout their damn base because the wall off is so common, but also two, to potentially proxy somewhere. I think that's always going to be an option for having a probe outside. But no, it's just always a wall, and the probes are always really early.
So two things real quick. First off, we missed a couple of subs. Well, the slow attacks going away. Thank you very much to PatenTV, the 11 months. Says, keep it up, guys. 1 month of that glorious Partoof. Yeah, baby. And then Opossums was a brand new sub. Although I think you're supposed to pronounce it just possum. Pussum. I don't actually know.
Why? Why? What other English language does that? Or whatever language it was derived from.
English is so cool for a lot of different reasons. But yo, Billowy actually made a zealot, which is
very odd.
Yeah, it's not exactly telling, but it is certainly odd. It's a waste of minerals too, in my opinion.
It doesn't. Yeah, I'm very curious about this because if he's trying to break down the wall with a mothership core and the proxy pylon, then
you know what? Actually, so this is where I can see some viability with the zealot. If you think your opponent has gone for a proxy, like this could actually tear down a pylon faster than a stock or an adept would, right?
That's true. It's also scouting already, which waiting for an adept would be even longer. I don't know. It's like that could have been the reason too. I mean, proxies are still fairly common on Proxima, even though both these guys aren't.
Oh no! What? Oh, that stock from Zest should have cut the mothership core. What's going on?
There's a lot of weird movement.
No.
Yeah.
Zest, nice map hacks, bro. Actually, he's really fine. Never mind.
Oh, it's gonna take forever.
You'll still find it though.
But okay, so Billowy, Zealot feels very useless. You know, there was for finding the proxy, which would have been really cool if there was a proxy, or if there was an idea to bust down Zest's front. It's neither one's actually happening, so who cares? Like the Zealot is not doing anything. So I don't know. Mothership cores are both gonna get like what, 2 probes apiece?
Yeah, of course that recall out.
Oh wait, whoa. 3. Can you get 4? I don't think it's worth 4.
No, it was the mothership core for 4. Okay, that doesn't feel worth.
And
this one's also not being dealt with.
Oh!
Okay. Zealot also tears down the pylon. What? So funny enough, this is a value trade. Like the Zealot on the pylon alone is kind of worth
100. I guess the pylon was also a little damaged from the probe earlier.
Yeah.
But, okay, so Zest definitely messed up with his mothership core. That could be crucial in some games. This game, maybe not, because they're not attacking each other immediately here.
Well, so something I want to bring up, by the way, side note to all this, someone in the chat was asking what mains do we play? And I guess it's weird to hear main because it's not Overwatch, right? But
I was like, I main a hunter.
Well, Zomgrub and I both typically play Terran. I would like to take offense at a moment to someone saying Rifkin plays Terran cheese. I think it's actually... Okay, I'm not making myself up to be a good player. I am not a good player. Let's get that out there first. However, watching other players who are good, my biggest respect over the years have been players like Beyond and Maru and others who can like open with cheese and then play from that. And while I am nowhere close to good enough to pulling it off, that's been my mentality for playing. So when it comes to like Rifkin cheese, it's not just like Rifkin cheese because he can't play otherwise. It's like Rifkin cheese because he looks up to these really good turns.
I know you can play turtleneck.
I know you know. But I feel the need to defend myself in front of 2,000 people, okay?
Well, no, I'm not necessarily helping you defend yourself, because while you can also play Terran Mech, I would call you kind of a cheesy little son of a... Because your cheese isn't like the 3 racks into stable macro game. Your cheese is, you know,
Sup,
proxy
Sally?
battle cruisers, or you know, double starport Banshee on base after proxying a barracks.
I feel like this is
in
like
the
this
base.
legend of Rifkin, like, because this is not how we play on ladder or anything. This is how we play with like friends, like.
Wait, didn't you say that you got to like masters by proxying battle cruisers?
Not proxying, just playing battle cruisers.
Oh, my bad.
Well, it is. It's not at all the same thing.
It's not one base? I thought you said it was one base.
No.
Okay then, I concede.
Actually, yo, I think not last season, but the season previous, Nate actually casted my Masters promotion game. I was playing against Protoss. Battle cruisers. Hype. Actually, I don't know. Someone will find that VOD and link it.
Because then we're getting into like what's the difference of cheese, isn't it?
Well, I feel like when it comes to cheese, like, because everyone has asked, like, what is the definition, and not a lot of people have that consistency. I think it's for me, any strategy that requires your opponent not to have information on what you have is what I consider cheese.
Yeah, actually, that's actually a good way to describe it. Because I would say that it's a tactic that has a very high success rate if not scouted, is like what I go with it. So battle cruisers would be under that, I suppose, because no one's scouting for battle cruisers.
Well,
anyway,
then, it's and this is an interesting point, because this actually relates back to some regular builds too, but it is that question of like, well, okay, you know what's going on with blank. How do you deal with blank? And it kind of reminds me of like when you see some players play against mech right now. They're like, oh, we haven't seen mech in like a year. Like, I don't know how to play this. Or like, you know, this could apply to some Protoss builds too. I guess maybe not in PvPs, but
yeah. Well, I think that the real problem here is that there's not a word that describes your playstyle accurately, because it's definitely not what people would think of macro, even if it is. Yeah.
But again, I really want to bring this back to the original point.
Gotta bring a new word.
I am not a good player, and I'm not trying to make it look like I'm a good player, but it's like an interesting point of discussion, right? Anyways, Phoenix going out for a scout. Billowy and Zest actually have a pretty similar looking army. The difference is Billowy does have upgrades, but as they start moving towards things like disruptors, those upgrades won't be as influencing of a factor.
Yeah, and we are moving towards disruptors, because there wasn't that much aggression. They both kind of conceded, like, okay, you get a natural, I get a natural, you get a third base, I get a third base. And, well, they're both keeping tabs on what each other are making, because there's not a guarantee it's disruptors, no matter what you see in the early game. For both these two players, it seems to be. Zest still hasn't done on a robotics spade, is the only reason I'm, like, a little hesitant, but I feel like he should. If he doesn't start a robotics spade, then he's gotta start resonating glaives, like, now. Or attack, I guess. Well, if this doesn't work, he will be behind in the disruptor tech, but disruptors aren't out yet, so it might just be the way to go. Zest is up almost 20 army supply. I don't know, man. He's gonna warp us in a micro, and Billowy's not using his posted overcharges.
Also, these force fields are creating really weird concaves that almost worked better for Zest. Gets that immortal too. That's a big tag. Time warp comes down, which is funny to see, but that's where that warp prism can scoop him up and save him from the time warp. Zest's army now leading by almost double the supply, and I think Billowy's just about to get brute force down. The blink in focuses down the immortal. Probes are getting pulled into the equation, but the force fields actually keep them from surrounding. Oh, bother. And of course, that warp prism's doing some very fancy micro help and dance around this. Stalker's actually blinking to pick it off. That was surprising to see, but regardless, Billowy is still going to die out. 4 army supply, 2 army supply, GG. All right, well, that's going to be a nice 2-0 for Zest, but it's not over yet because it's a best of 5, not a best of 3. And if Zest, well, maybe actually, I don't know, timing-wise, you're still a little bit awkward because I'm checking my phone every 3 seconds to see that text like, I'm downstairs, come get your stuff. But okay, so we're going to go to commercial break. Game number 3. When we get back, it could be the 3-0. Maybe the comeback is real. Either way, we'll see you guys soon. All right, we're back, but I went to the wrong scene. I meant to go directly into game.
Oh my god, what did they see?
Whoa! They saw you picking your nose. I'm sorry.
Oh,
it is
no.
Game 2 here for the Olimoleague Finals. Map number, excuse me, it's 2-0 for the Olimoleague Finals. Map 3, Game 3 underway. In the top left, he's 1 win away from locking it down and finishing off his opponent. It is the pink Protoss Zest.
In the bottom right is the blue Protoss. He is Billowy.
All right, so it's cool to see Zest winning, which is, you know, great in its own right. But also, this means that we might get to see him even more, as if he does win this, he'll be in the shoe-in. He'll be a shoe-in for the monthly finals.
That's true. Second place is usually guaranteed.
No. Oh wait, it's a gateway. Never mind. I was sorry.
Okay.
Got a little ahead of myself there. A little too
No,
quick.
I hate Billowy. I never want to see him again. Okay, down there. Well, it is still an early scout, and while that made sense on Proxima, because it's a big map, and there's always that wall off, this one is like a little more like, well, I guess maybe he's either afraid Billowy's going to do something suspicious, or he wants to scout, get out, and have the possibility of throwing down either a pylon or a proxy of some sort. Billowy don't care. Billowy's like, do whatever you want. I don't need to scout. A little concerning, considering that Zest can go for not just cheese, but also for like that one gateway expand that gave him such a boost on Abyssal Reef. I feel like Billowy would want to scout that, but instead Billowy's having to deal with derping out the minerals. Oh, got him back.
I used to actually. I really miss when people do the gas steal, and you do that thing where you like do the gas, do the minerals, do the gas, do the minerals. You just kind of waste your opponent's money. Like it's only like 5 or 20 minerals, right? It's like not worth it, but it's still funny when that would happen.
Yeah.
But okay, annoying and a nuisance, soon to come to an end. Do you think Stargate's coming to a factor for Belshire?
No. I don't know. Maybe. No. It's always a possibility, but I guess it's not as popular in Belshire. Sentry on the way out for Billowy. This ended up kind of hurting a little bit, I guess, in that Cactus Valley game where Zest was really aggressive. But I'm not sure Zest will be looking for that same type of aggressiveness. Oh, just kidding. I was like, he doesn't have a pylon, but there he goes on a pylon. Because it was either, like, at that point in time, a Nexus or Proxy Pylon. He chose the latter. And this is something that Billowy will be able to scout. He's going to see the lack of a Nexus and say, okay, it's either Proxy Pylon or there's a Stargate in the main base, basically. Kind of the two choices. And then the Adept should be able to scout that there isn't anything in the main base. Although if it's only their shades, that does not have much vision anymore. He gets in there.
Yeah, actually completes. He's only got the button overcharge initially, so the second Adept might... I actually don't know. That Cybercore might just be blocking him out just barely enough.
He should know that there's frontal
Probably.
aggression on the way.
You know, this is crazy. Like, normally it's just the one gateway. So this does shut down scouting, but so many questions are raised. Like, no Nexus, no tech.
I think he knows.
Yeah, like Billowy is... He's
But
not...
you can't...
He's not a bad player. He's got to know, right?
Yeah, you can't do very much. Like, you have a very finite amount of minerals and resources right now, and sure, you don't like, maybe you cut probes. Like, that would probably be something that you could do, which maybe that's the last probe he's going to make. But a second pylon also would have been, I think, a necessity by now, and I'm, like, even kind of worried. But he also wants to make sure he has enough minerals to start that Immortal immediately. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't realize what's happening.
Well,
Rip.
This looks very similar to Cactus Valley.
Even a little more desperate, though, I would say, for Billowy.
Oh my god, so many Adepts.
I don't know. Billowy, why are you making so much minerals?
I really wish he would have got through that transfer. Like, he was limited on vision, so he couldn't see that there was nothing there waiting for him.
Okay. I still don't know about the lack of second pylon, because, like, even if you only have one overcharge, that means that at least one will survive long enough to use it. Takes out one of the stalkers, but waiting for that Immortal, he had to wait so long for it to start. He banked so many minerals for his lack of gateways. I feel like he did know it was on the way, but he underestimated just how much was invested into it. Like, he expected like that third gateway, not the fourth gateway.
The mothership core going down was devastating. They overcharged it almost nothing. This this Immortal, if there was no Adepts here, maybe this Immortal's like the total cleanup force. So yeah, as he starts taking out Zest Adepts, that's where he can start pushing back. But new Adepts arrive in the front line, and oh, it's awkward. I think this many Stalkers is better than the single Immortal for sure. Yeah,
and that Immortal has had its barrier popped. It's pretty important. Not gonna be focus fire though. The Adepts just going to the main base. There are Adepts waiting though.
Oh, kills the new weapons too.
Yeah, they're taking pretty favorable trades, however. But that second Immortal's about to pop, and maybe Billowy does hold with that second Immortal.
But I feel like that Immortal is still gonna take a long enough time to kill the Adepts. Okay, he pulls back. Like, that could have still killed and slaughtered a lot of workers. But Billowy's actually looking to maybe be in a holdable position. I don't know, like 2 Immortals is actually kind of big. This one's got its barrier back too. Well, it just got popped.
Oh. Again, that really loud mechanical death sound. I don't know what's been happening lately. Go! Leaves a stalker at the front. Dep's going to the main base. Probes would be pulled entirely off, but I'm not sure this is... Say that he does kill like 10 probes. The Immortals might still just be good enough to counterattack.
Well, he actually force fills the Immortals out of the fight. This is so cool. I like that.
Oh, it doesn't take the sentries, though. Oh, there could have been better micro.
Yeah,
I mean, it's really important, too. Like, this is just bare bones, or very small amount of units. Everything matters.
I like the Zealot a lot for this.
Yeah, that's good. And the Adepts actually came back. It looks like Billowy just, like... Well, 3 Immortals is good, but nothing to protect them, I guess, still makes them kind of bad.
The Adept's also just wrecking the probe line, too, while this goes
Yeah.
on. Slow warp in on that Adept. Whoa, I just realized there's no pylon touching the Nexus.
Oh,
GG.
that's awkward. That is game. That's series.
All right, and that times out well that I don't have to stress out about leaving in the middle of the cast, so I can just go down at any point now and grab the package, so to speak. So let's wrap things up really quick so I don't have to worry about missing any of the action, guys. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed this week's Olimoleague. Quick reminder that we will be back tomorrow morning, 3 a.m. Pacific with the BTSL. $200 on the line. Hopefully a lot of good Koreans will show up and play, and hopefully we'll have some really good games for it. But as said before, the Olimoleague does kind of reserve the right to do replays, so we can't send replay packs of this tournament out to our fans, but the BTSL and otherwise we can and do. So get hyped and excited for those, I suppose. We talked about how many subs we had at the start of the stream. I'm actually curious where we ended up. So we were at 12,009 at the start. Obviously some people...
1211. Never forget.
Oh, close. 1212. 1212.
Okay.
1211, never forget. So stupid. Anyways, congratulations to Zest on his victory. It's nice to see Zest winning something for sure. Other than that, you want to do quick shoutouts before we take off?
Follow me on Twitter at DG Gaming. Follow me on Twitch, Zombie Grub, and please subscribe to my YouTube. That's also Zombie Grub. And look at the Amazon links down below if you want to buy anything.
And don't forget about our YouTube for the channel, youtube.com/BaseTradeTV. We just recently uploaded some co-op content there that I think we streamed some of it, but we didn't stream the other part of it, so be sure to check it out. I know Zombie's got a version she's got to upload sometime soonish too. Anyways, make sure to go to our YouTube, youtube.com/BaseTradeTV. Other than that, as we said, we've got this awesome thing called the events tab on Twitch now. So if you don't know what it is, twitch.tv/BaseTradeTV, then /events, or just at the top of your screen, click events. I'm gonna actually show this off really quick because I love this feature. This is like my favorite thing since Twitch Prime came out. And you can see we've listed all the stuff we have coming up. The best part is you can click this little remind me button to remind you like an hour beforehand, hey, this is going on, so you don't miss any of the action. But it also is a good way for just kind of look ahead and say, oh yeah, what are these guys up to for the month? What's going on? Like, this is way better than the Team Liquid calendar. It's so awesome, and I love that it's all done through Twitch directly and that we don't have to do like a third-party website thing. Other than that, last thing is, of course, for our Corsair links down below. If you guys go buy any Corsair gear, click our affiliate links. It'll give us some cash, but also credit that you guys bought through BaseTradeTV, furthering to prove that it's worth sponsoring us. Yay! Again, I guess mentioned it before, but I'll end the stream with it. We are going to be casting DreamHack Austin, not up on the main stage, but we're actually going to have our own little casting setup booth in the player pit. So if you guys are going to Austin, be sure to come say hi to us, but also look forward to us casting instead of just disappearing for another week. So have a good day, everybody. Thank you again so much for watching. I don't know who we're going to host, but give them some love, and we'll see you tomorrow night, very, very early in the morning for the BTSL. Goodbye.
Bye.